This is going to be the first ever edition of Taff Meets the Team, which will be brought to you exclusively on the Kainty Choir YouTube channel. And my first ever edition is going to be with Michael Flynn. So I'm about to go and leave to go and meet him. So hopefully you'll have some interesting answers to some interesting questions I got for him. I've taken some off the message board and some off Facebook as well. I offered the people on Twitter the chance to put some questions forward, but no one seemed to have any questions for me there. But obviously I got a good few off the message board and I got one off of Facebook. So yeah, should be an interesting interview. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm here with the one, the only Michael Flynn. Flinny, thanks very much for being here today. This is for the Kainty Choir YouTube channel, and this is the first edition of Taff Meets the Team, so a bit of a privilege there for you, mate.
There you go, cheers Taff.
Nice one. Okay, and the first question I got, obviously I got a number of questions myself, and I've also taken questions off the message board, Facebook and Twitter. And the first question I got for you is, obviously you started your career with Newport County, and then you went on to play for Barry, Wigan, Blackpool, Gillingham, Huddersfield, Darlington, Bradford, and then back to Newport, if that's correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
What would you say is your lowest and highest points of your career?
My lowest point was probably when I had relegation with Gillingham from the Championship. I actually made 27 appearances that season for Wigan, who got promoted to the Premier League, and then made 16 appearances for Gillingham, which got relegated from the Championship. So in effect, my career actually went down 2 divisions, and it was a really tough time. You know, obviously I was really happy for Wigan, but it was a tough time being relegated with Gillingham.
I can imagine that. And what about the highest points? I know you had a fair few promotions during your career.
Yeah, the highest point, obviously, the obvious one was getting promoted at Wembley last season with Newport. But you know, actually signing for Wigan, my first professional club, that was massive. And then obviously in the first year getting promoted, it was something really special. And you know, maybe I got spoiled too soon, too quickly in the professional game, because I had 2 promotions in 3 years, and obviously that's not quite the normal reality of a career. So I was very fortunate there.
Imagine for anyone, there's a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, you have to endure.
Yeah, there is. You know, I've had injuries. I had stomach illnesses where my stomach stopped working. I've been, you know, when I was in hospital for 4 weeks.
Never.
You know, it was. You do have your ups and downs, but look, I played nearly 400 league games, professional games now. So you know, if somebody would have offered me that when I left Newport to go to Barry and Barry to Wigan, then I would have bit your hands off.
Well, definitely, I can imagine. So the one question I've actually got, I'd imagine a lot of people might have asked you this already. Do you have any regrets leaving Bradford when you did? Obviously, I know you got promoted with us that season, but because they got the League Cup final.
No, I don't, if I'm honest. You know, it was a bit of an awkward, like I mentioned, the stomach illness. There was a contract which was going to be negotiated, and to be honest, after I had my illness, that was basically taken away. You know, so with my daughter starting high school, it was the right time, I thought, to come home, be close to her. You know, I've been away now for a few years, so you know, I think it was more important that I came home and tried to get Newport back in the Football League, which thankfully we did, and obviously to be close to my family.
Brilliant. You played, the highest level you played in was a Championship. Do you feel in yourself you were good enough for the Premier League?
No, because I didn't play in the Premier League, if I'm honest. I think if I was good enough, I would have. You know, I'm an honest enough man. No, I'd say, you know, Championship was probably my level. Still think I could have played more in there. You know, when I was at my peak and when I was more successful. But you know, there's players who I've played with who are, you know, similar players to me who have played in the Premiership. But I think to be called a Premier League player, I think you need, you know, 3-4 seasons at least, you know, in the Premier League and constantly playing. So no, like I said, I'm honest enough, and maybe I wasn't good enough.
Okay. Who's the best player you ever played against and who you played with?
Best player I played against was Deco for Porto. When I was at Barry Town, we played him in a Champions League qualifier. You know, you could see why he went to Chelsea and into Milan. He was unbelievable. He's really class player. Yeah, he'd have to be him. He's the best I played against, definitely.
Who was the best you played with?
Best I played with was probably Leighton Baines or Jimmy Bullard. Obviously two totally different players. Jimmy was unbelievable at making space for himself and time on the ball. You know, his energy was superb, and Leighton Baines has got probably the sweetest left foot I've seen I've played with, and you know, he very rarely gets beaten. He's a great defender for his size, and you know, somebody who I always thought could go to the top, which he has done.
Okay, I'm right in hearing that that your trip to Wembley with Newport County last season was the first trip you ever made to Wembley.
Yep.
How special was it to be with Newport County?
Look, it's, you know, it's what dreams are made of. I came home to try and get Newport back in the Football League, and you know, it happened. So it's not very often, you know, you need to be fortunate for things like that to come true, and luckily it did, because like I said, my first appearance at Wembley, and for it to be for Newport, that was meant everything.
Excellent. Okay, and then moving on to a phase at the club, who would you say is your best friend at the club? Or would you say you admire most?
Well, best friends at the club, well, you know, we all seem to get on a lot, but you know, mostly hang around with Adam Chapman, you know, Danny Crow or Lee Minsell. Obviously Pipey's gone now, but you know, yeah, I'd say it's us three there. You know, we probably talk the most, even though we don't always spend a lot of time together. I'd probably say it's those three.
Brilliant. Who would you say is the most funniest player at the club, and who is the most boring?
Depends which funny you're asking me. If you're asking me funny as in a weirdo, I'm going to have to say Tiger Hughes. He's a good lad, you know, but he's just dull as dishwater.
Questionable hairstyle, at least.
No, but he's a very strange lad. But you know, like I said, there's a lot of jokers and pranksters in the team. So you know, that's probably an open debate. You get people like you've got chappers, you've got people like Crowe, always up to no good. Aaron O'Connor, he's you know, he's back amongst it now, and you know, he's always trying to wind people up. So yeah, it's definitely those three I'd be at the top.
Okay. What's your opinion on Newport and the fans? What's your opinion on the fans in general of Newport County?
I think the fans have been brilliant. I think this season, you know, obviously we've had a tough run, and they've always supported us. I think the away fans have been absolutely unbelievable. Like sometimes most of the times they're out singing, you know, making more noise than the home fans, and you know, it gives us such a lift. Places like when we went to Torquay, Portsmouth, I thought the fans were absolutely superb. And you know, I know it's easy to say, every footballer, you know, like, always seem to say the fans are brilliant, you know, but if I thought that, you know, they were out of order, I'd say. But I think the fans have been absolutely superb, and you know, they've had no reason not to be, really, in the 2 years that I've been here. So.
Brilliant. How did it feel for you to be able to captain the team this season?
Look, it's just like I said, it's another privilege that I've been allowed to, you know, to have in my career. You know, I've been captain at Gillingham, captain at Bradford. But you know, when I was captain at Torquay, I thought the boys were winding me up. I actually threw the armband back on the massage table at Torquay, because I thought one of the boys were winding me up. So, but then when the gaffer called me to go and do the team sheet, you know, for my first competitive game as captain, it was an honour. Obviously, I did it in Jenna, you know, and that was pretty special as well, with it being, you know, the connection to the club. But no, definitely, I was over the moon, and something that I think I've done with a bit of pride.
Excellent. I'm moving on to the questions from the fans online now. On the message board, NCFC67 has actually asked if after being told that your contract wasn't going to get renewed at the end of the season, have you actually had any offers from any of the clubs?
To be honest, I've not even looked. Not even tried to look. I've not even got an agent looking. I just wanted to knuckle down and, you know, get my head on Newport County, and either trying to get us in the playoffs at that point, or you know, making sure we're safe in League Two, playing League Two football next season. You know, at the end of the day, Newport County's the most important thing, not Michael Flynn. And no teams go and sign a player in April, or March or April anyway, because they don't want to pay their wages come June. So, like I said, I've not even looked, and once the season's over, I'll get my head down and see where it takes us. Excellent.
Tom Peplow off of Facebook has asked, what's your favourite chant and can you sing it? Obviously we're not going to expect any miracles there, but what's your favourite chant at least?
One which is stuck out the most is "We Know What We Are." I'll leave the rest up to you to fill in, but I think it's, it was apt, very apt, and it was it is quite a humorous chant as well. I just think it sums up the atmosphere around the place at the moment.
Excellent. Back to the message board. Tremor from the message board has asked, what's your diet and training routine?
My diet and training routine? Well, at the minute I've been doing Herbalife, a lot of which is a meal replacement with shakes. It's helped trim down body fat, make me feel more alert. Obviously the training, we do what we have to do in football, which is a lot of intense periods of football, and then on the odd occasion, I'll either go swimming or do a little bit extra. I've never really been one to do weights. I'll do them occasionally, especially if I'm not involved in, and I need to keep topping up. I'll probably do it more then, but like I said, so basically the football, Herbalife, and then a little bit of swimming in between. The swimming can help as well for recovery as well after games.
I can imagine, yeah. Obviously, team training you get a lot of because you're part of a professional club, but then I'd imagine that personal training is pretty vital as a professional footballer then.
Yeah, you need to keep on top of it. Sometimes when you're not in the team, you need to be doing more than, you do need to be doing more than the people who are in the team, because you need to impress and you want to get in that team. So, each to their own. Some players are naturally fit. I think I came back in pre-season. I was up there. I was one of the fittest in pre-season. I'd say. Take Christian Jolly and Robbie Wilmot out of it completely because they were on a different level, if I'm honest. Those two were absolutely flying machines in pre-season. But then I'd say I was probably in the next group of say 4 or 5 players then. So even at 33, my legs are still there, and I'm still feeling fit and still enjoying it.
Great. Sticking with training, actually, on the message board, I think it's Shez or Ches, or whatever he's called. He's actually asking what the team's training schedule is, how many sessions you have per week, what kind of match preparation you have, and do you watch videos of other teams? Obviously, I'm not going to expect you to give up any club training secrets or anything that Justin wouldn't want you to let anybody else know.
We train every day. We sometimes have a Wednesday off or a Thursday, depending. Probably where the fixture is, the next game, if it's home or away, how far away, if we're travelling on the Friday, etc. That's a decision the manager makes. But yeah, we train for roughly 2 to 3 hours. From say 10:30. Got to be in for 10. Train at 10:30, and we train till like between 1 and 2, say. Where some of the boys are staying and do a little bit extra. On their own with the coaching staff. So, like I said, there are the opportunities there for the boys who want to do more. But sometimes, to be fair, the session is that intense. You are better off just getting yourself home and resting up, because then you've got to go again the next day and be fresh for the match day. But the sessions definitely at the start and the middle of the season are really intense. Towards now the end of the season, where we've had Saturday, Tuesday, the training does come down a little bit, but like you say, you've got so many games then in that period, and I think that the rest is almost as as important as the training.
I would imagine match experience is probably the most vital training that you're going to have.
Of course it is. At the end of the day, we don't get paid. Well, we do get paid to train, but if we win a game in training, nobody knows that, and nobody sees it. But the main way you earn your money is on a match day, and I'd take probably losing every training game if it meant winning every match day. So, I know that's an obvious thing to say, but it's basically the facts of it.
Okay. Sticking with the message board, I don't know whether this is meant to spell anything. It's DI12ON35. I'd imagine it's supposed to spell something, but I can't see it personally. He's asking, did you start Herbalife, your involvement with Herbalife, after being told you're not getting a contract at the end of the season? And could it be the reason why that might change? Has the Herbalife affected your diet in a positive way and come out onto the pitch?
I can only speak for myself with Herbalife. It's obviously different for every person, but I've definitely felt better off it. But that's each to their own. I think I started before I was told. Roughly it was raining at the same time, if I'm totally honest. But
it's just a coincidence then.
Yeah, it's a coincidence. I've not even thought nothing of it. In the past when I was at Wigan, we definitely had some more supplements, given to us, by the club.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always been the case at every club I've been at. But definitely, I think it's been a positive impact, and I'm still going to take it and obviously try and get in the best condition I can for pre-season.
Okay. Next question is from Pems Exile. That's off the message board again. He's asking, does it change your effort and attitude playing for your hometown team? Should it make a difference as a professional footballer? But does it give you that extra incentive to go out there because it's your hometown team?
No, not for me. Obviously it means more. When you look back, it'll mean more. You asked me if I regretted leaving Bradford because they had such a good season, got promoted. But if you would have said to me before the start of the season, you could stay at Bradford and do all that, or you can go to Newport and get back in the Football League, I would have chose Newport, and I genuinely mean that. Because to get them back in the Football League, that means more. But whenever I pull on any club shirt, Wigan, Blackpool, Gillingham, Huddersfield, Newport, whatever shirt I pulled on, I'd always give 100%. Not every day you can be at your best, but it'd never be through a lack of trying. And I think it's the same for every footballer, really. And if it's not, then they shouldn't be at the club.
Okay, that's a good point, actually. On the message board again, this is the last of the questions I've taken off the internet. Up the Port has asked, who has been your player of the season, and do the club have an award night for just the players?
I think it's an award night after the game Saturday up in the Bisley stand. I think we've got to go up there after the game for some awards night. It's been a bit of a topsy-turvy season. I think Robbie Wilmot's been very decent, and I think Chris Zabrowski has done. He's scored 13 goals and he's missed 3 months. So I think I'm totally honest, I think Lenny has been very consistent when he played. But then you've got people like Adam Chapman who's played a lot of games. I can't really remember him having too many nightmares, if I'm totally honest. So it depends what we're looking for. If you had to put me on the spot now and say one, I would probably say Chris Zabrowski because of the time out, and he still managed to finish top scorer with 13 goals. I think if he hadn't have missed that 3 months, I think he might have been closer to the 20 mark, and I think that's obviously what we needed.
Excellent. Okay, final question is from me. What do you think of the County Choir as a support group? And what difference does vocal support have on your performance? And would you urge more people to participate in the lifting of the stadium atmosphere?
It depends. If I'm on a bench, you're right behind me, so I feel like putting a knife through the drum because you give me an earache. Look, when you can constantly hear, the drum banging and the crowd singing, it does give you a lift. It's a little bit intimidating for some of the opposition as well. I've seen plenty of times this season and last season, if I'm honest. A couple of players sitting on the bench thinking, "Oh God, I might have to go on here," for the opposition. So it's definitely a lift for us. And I think obviously the better atmosphere at the stadium, the better the stadium is. Simple as that. I do think some stadiums help create better atmospheres than others. You know, for example, I think Anfield is one of the best. Liverpool, whereas you know maybe the Emirates, new stadium, bigger. It's not really as as tight in and as good as Anfield, but for atmosphere wise. But it's definitely, like I said, it's a lift, and just keep singing because the boys enjoy it.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that.
No problem.
And thanks very much for your time today. That's all I got for you for today. So cheers, Flynn. So then, guys, Michael Flynn, what an absolute honour that was for me. It was great for me to do the first ever edition of Taff Meets the Team, and I couldn't think of a better player to be able to have the first interview with. So, Flynn, if you're watching this, thanks very much for your time today. I mean, I'm sure a lot of other fans will have enjoyed watching this, and they would have appreciated you answering some of their questions as well. Certainly appreciated you answering mine. Hopefully now we'll be able to nab more of the team to come and have an interview with me, and possibly then even try and get any of the new players that are going to come in over the summer. So endless possibilities there. So any feedback on that, guys? Just obviously everyone knows how to get hold of me, and if you have any particular player that you'd like for me to nab next, just leave in the feedback, and I'll see what I can do. So cheers for watching, guys. Thank you.